So my most interesting experience happened when I had Millennium. Kara and I were out around town, and we were eating at a restaurant, and we were just eating away, and we had a guy who kind of asked us a couple questions about the baby, and it's not exactly the safest place to be, so we just kind of ignored the guy. Usually that works really well. A few minutes later, a policeman comes up to us and is already very mad. He says, "What are you doing with this kid?" And we tried to explain, but with the language barrier, we could not get the point across. So he said, "All right, come here." So we had to sit down in this one place while he waited to call his captain or whatever it is that he called, I don't know. And Kara was sitting there worrying, saying, "Don't let them separate us because we would die if we were in prison overnight," and we would. Well, I was thinking, hey, this will be great fun to write home about. I apparently thought everything was going to be fine. Anyway, so we got transported in a police vehicle to the police station, which actually turned out to be like a little shoe shine stand in front of a restaurant. Whatever. So then we got to wait there for another hour. So while they were deciding what to do with us horrible criminals, they thought we were trying to kidnap him, was what was going on. Anyway, we convinced them to take us to the orphanage where we could get into contact with Stephanie, who would be able to explain everything. So we went to the orphanage, and long story made short, Stephanie explained everything, and they said, "Oh, thank you for taking care of our children. You can take care of them whenever you want, and let us know what we can do to help." But so now I have an arrested story. So when I fill out job applications, I feel kind of guilty saying that, no, I haven't been arrested. Anyway, so after 2 weeks, the twins' family came, and we gave them an hour-and-a-half long class on how to feed with a bottle. They'd never done that before. How to swaddle them up, how to keep kids healthy, wash their hands and that sort of thing. And we also got to give them the gift of money to lease another plot of land for 10 years, and also money to add on to their house. These kids were not their only kids. They had 6 older children as well. So there were 8 kids and 2 parents living in this house. And here's the inside. So, right as of now, they have gotten the land and they're working on adding onto the house. And here's them obviously very happy with their children. And Stephanie went out about 2 weeks after we left and gave them the money for the land. And she really impressed upon them how important it is that, because this was a Protestant Christian family in a pseudo-Christian community. And so she really impressed upon them the importance of being a light to the community. And of course everything is a community affair, especially when a white person comes. Everybody comes from miles around to just see. There's the land. About 3 weeks after I got home, I heard that my little Millennium had died. He was a little bit sick when we gave him back to the parents, but he just hadn't made it. This is one of the rural clinics that Dr. Mary runs. Of course, she has all the medical supplies and everything, and then everybody gets a number in the morning. And if you have a number, you get seen. If you don't have a number, you come back next week. And so she sees everybody in order of their numbers, and then after everybody is seen, she does a pharmacy. So people are there all day long. And during the day, there are people going around and witnessing to these people, telling them about Jesus. This woman was brought on her bed because she couldn't walk. This is Dr. Ruth. She is from the Netherlands. She works at the hospital, and she also helps with Dr. Mary's clinics. Bandaging up an arm. This is another one of the clinics. It's in a very Muslim community called Abokicho. And it's completely illegal to be a Christian in this community. Well, there were about 70 Muslim leaders, some of them from Abu Kicho, some of them not, but 70 of them were in a room for like a convention, and they heard a voice from heaven saying, "You guys aren't serving me. I want you to talk to Dr. Mary Vanderkoy and this other guy who happened to be an evangelist." So they got on the phone, because they were terrified, of course. Got on the phone, got this evangelist. The evangelist flew from another part of Ethiopia and was there within just a couple hours and ended up being their main event speaker for the rest of their weekend convention. Every single one of those 70 Muslim leaders is now a Christian. Yeah, so things like that do really happen still. It's amazing. Anyway, so some of them went back to Abu Kicho, where it's completely illegal to be a Christian, and slowly, one by one, they're coming out of the religious closet and telling people about their new faith and their new hope. One of those leaders owned a Muslim church, which is what this is, but it is now converted to a Christian church, and they even drew a little cross on the outside, which is a very bold move in that community. So it's really a gift that Mary has the permission to work in this clinic and to bring Christian people in to witness to the Muslim population. So this is Dr. Mary. We had the privilege of giving her about $1,700 for her feeding program. She goes and feeds really poor people up in the mountains. And this was us giving the money to her. Like I said, on the very first time I met her, she said, "I'm trying to convince you to move here." And of course, multiple other missionaries did that too. And I left her after I was done, thinking I would, never see her again, because her health isn't that great. Well, 2 weeks later, I got an email from her saying, "I just got back from Kenya. I have been diagnosed with terminal cancer. I have been given 2 months to live. Would you please come and take over my clinic for me?" And I'm saying, "Absolutely not. I'm a nurse. What are you talking about? I'm not a doctor." But then I decided to ask God what he thought about it. And over, he confirmed that I'm supposed to be there through, people giving me checks for $2,000, to songs that I heard on the radio, to people saying, "Yeah, we knew you were going to go there. What are you talking about?" So it's just been a process, and it's really exciting to see where God is leading me. So when I'm there, I'm for sure going to be doing clinics with Dr. Mary. She, by the way, came back to the States, got radiation. She's in the middle of chemo right now, and they are giving her 2 years to live. So she's planning on going back to Ethiopia in April. She's had some complications, so we'll see if it actually happens then. But she is planning on being back in Ethiopia, which I'm really excited about, because that means I won't just be thrown to the wolves to not know what I'm doing. In addition to clinics, I am hoping to be able to take care of the babies, Stephanie's babies, and also training nurses in the hospital. And there are 3 nursing schools in the area, and I'm hoping to improve their training processes as well. And who knows what else. The life of a missionary is pretty exciting. You never know what's going to get thrown at you. So what you can do, above all else, pray, because we know that God is able to do immeasurably more than anything we can ask or imagine. So please pray for Dr. Mary's health. Pray for wisdom for me. Pray for logistics like housing and a car if I'm going to need it, that sort of thing. And ministry opportunities, continued open doors. It's been incredible to see how the doors have just flown open. I have absolutely no doubt in the world that I'm supposed to be there. And also preparing the hearts of those in Ethiopia. We all know that when people come to the Lord, it's often not a single event that has drawn them. It's a process of years or months or contacts with different Christians. So just please pray for the hearts of those in Ethiopia.